Is here, pronouns he, him, his, and I'm here to talk to you about your vote and how it counts. So as we know, election is coming up for the primary. And some of y'all may not know Texas has a closed primary, which means if you want to vote for who's going to be on the ballot in November, you have to show up during early voting that begins February 20th, with election day being on March 5th. So I'm going to talk to you about how to find your ballot because it is going to be a long ballot. This is a presidential year, and I'm really focused on down ballot voting. So everybody's talking about the presidency and the Congress and Senate. But really gets me going is these Texas races, the Texas House, the Texas Senate, and then the judge positions that are impact our lives so incredibly much, like the appeals court, the probate court, all of those kinds of things. So I want to make sure that you have access to this information and that you know exactly what's going on. So we'll start with, how do I find my ballot? So if you're in Harris County like myself, you can go to the harrisvotes.com website. Let me go ahead and pull that up. So this is harrisvotes.com, where you would be able to put in your information, your first name, last name, middle name, and address. And it's going to show you exactly where your sample ballot is. So like I can pull mine up when I put in that information. You see here, I put in my last name, my first name, my address, and it pulls up my voter ID number. And then it tells me what where my sample ballot is. And so you can take a look at exactly how long these ballots are, and you are able to print out the ballot and bring it with you. It's really important that you know inside of the polling center, you cannot use your cell phone. You cannot bring your cell phone into the polls and use that. You can, however, bring in a piece of paper or a sample ballot. You can even bring in endorsement cards given to you by different organizations like the Caucus here in Houston, or Our Revolution, or other groups like that, in order to help you make your decision. But what I have found is the easiest is finding my sample ballot, filling it out beforehand, and then bringing it in with me to the polls. It makes voting so easy and so quick. And I have a lot more confidence to finish the ballot. So you can see this is mine in the district that I live. It's 3 pages long, right? So this is it's a lot of judges. There's a lot of, and I vote in the Democratic primary. These are all Democratic candidates. So I can't go in saying I'm going to vote for the Democrat, because it's like, which one? Some of these positions have, 4 or 5 people that are running for election. So it's really important that you go ahead now that it's available, find your sample ballot, print it out, and start doing your research. There are some great organizations out there that do endorsements. And so I would strongly suggest that you find that ballot, you go ahead and sit down some time, fill it out, and then you can start making your vote plan all together. What if you're telling me, Dylan, I don't live in Harris County. Where am I going to find my ballot? Well, there is a directory of Texas counties and their websites. Texas has 254 counties last time I checked. And so depending on how your county regulates their elections, through the tax office, through the county clerk's office, there's not like a voting office that doesn't exist. They run it usually through one of those 2 offices. You're going to want to go to this website that I put here on the top of my video, texastxdirectory.com/online/county. And so here I have it pulled up. One moment. Here we go. And here you're going to see 16 pages of all of the counties listed in Texas. So let's say you live in Hayes County. You're going to go to the H's. You're going to go down to find Hayes, and you're going to see Hayes County. There's a link here. You'll click on the hyperlink, and oh, what is this? Check it out. We found out in real time this has a paywall. TexasStateDirectory.com has a paywall. It looks like clicking around on it in order to prepare for this video, I've already used my free views for the directory today. Let's see what it takes to subscribe. Okay. $140. Well, it looks like this is this Texas State Directory Press. Now, I tried to find a public directory. All I was able to find was a list of counties without hyperlinks. So let me be right back to see if I can find this in real time. This is interesting. Okay, I'm back. You didn't have to wait long, but it did take me a minute in order to navigate through this. So you'll see I've actually updated this link right here to an actual website that doesn't have a paywall, that doesn't cost $140 a month or year. So let me go ahead and share this so that y'all can see. So if you don't live in Harris County, which has harrisvotes.com, you can come to texascountiesdelivery.org/texas-county-websites. And here you're going to find an extensive list of all of the counties in Texas with hyperlinks that go to their website. So again, we went to Hayes County. Let's go ahead and go there to Hayes County again. And we can see it there. In order to find your ballot, you can go to elections and see what the information is to find, am I registered to vote? Check your voter registration and see if they have a sample ballot online. Now, I have heard about some people having to go to a local office in order to get their sample ballot printed out, or to a clerk's office, because again, it depends on what the rules are in your county, in your area, in order to make voting more accessible. But I do suggest you taking the time to do this. It's going to make everything so much easier. It's going to give you a lot of confidence going into the polls, and you'll be able to actually research the candidates and make a nice informed decision. Right now, there's a lot of organizations that are still doing endorsements. So if you want to go and hear what these candidates have to say and ask them, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me when you get elected? What are you going to do for me as a Houstonian, as a trans person, as a non-binary person, as a person of color, as a disabled person, as an immigrant? Ask them, what are they going to do for you? This is the time to do it. It really makes things more accessible, more approachable. The meetings can be, they do operate on a time that isn't great for like the service industry or people that work late hours like myself. So often I can't go to these meetings. But when I do get the opportunity to go, I do enjoy going and asking these questions. That way, when the Texas session comes around in 2025, I know that I've asked this person, what are they going to do for me? And I can start holding them accountable to it. And that's also what endorsements are for. Endorsements are political action committees, organizing around policies and issues, creating questionnaires, interviewing the candidates and vetting them in order to know what was their like track record before, or if it's a new candidate who's seeking election for the first time, where are they placing their values? And let's keep that on record moving into the legislative session. So that's my bit on voting. That's why it's important to me. That's how you can find your ballot. Feel free to reach out to my email, Houston LGBTQIA consulting at gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer your questions, and yeah, happy voting. If anybody has any more information or any other videos you'd like to see, I definitely suggest that you like and subscribe and drop a comment so I can create some content for you. But other than that, y'all enjoy your Friday and have a good day, Houston.